Hey guys, it's Ren Longhorn here, and today we are back with episode 3 of the Empyrion Alpha 12 series. It looks like it might have gotten an update, because now it's Alpha 12.6, so that's a change. I didn't see any comments from the last episode that of any questions that anyone had, so I don't have anything to answer to start off the video, but this base is almost done. We still need to bring the rest of the concrete over. For one, fill in this gap here, and then put some walls and a ceiling on. We'll probably have to make more concrete. That's okay. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to do it in a time lapse. Just before I do, I'm going to throw everything into this box here so that my inventory has more room in it. But anyway, guys, let's get into it. Okay, guys, I have now moved everything over. You can see I have the small constructors out front with the O2 gen, the portable heater and cooler, and I have everything. I've even named the boxes, as you can see, so I can just move this one to constructor in, this one to constructor out, and other than that, we should be ready to go. I tried to get a wall. I got a wall on the front of it. The back is still not walled. I'll probably end up putting a bed back here. I didn't know at first what I was going to put back here, but a bed back here would be nice. To give you an idea, even just doing all that stuff, we have filled our solar capacitors up a little bit, 168 out of 3,000. Let's see if it would tell me somewhere. Yes, battery 6%. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So the battery has charged a bit just from letting it sit, and keep in mind the fridge is running during that. I'm gonna actually throw about 20 biofuel into the base itself because we have plenty. There we go. So if the base needs to run off of generators or something, then it can do that. But we shouldn't. I'm gonna make a shortcut over here called generator backup, which is going to turn the generator on, but I don't want the generator to be on right now because it doesn't need to be. I also tried to shape the front a little bit here. You can see I tried to round the corners a little bit. This guy made all the blocks he can, but of course I can't take them all. I could put them in a cargo box. I'm not going to worry about it right now. So even just like a one high wall around the place for now is going to be good, and we can always add to it more in the future. We still have plenty of crushed stone from all the mining we've done, and we can always gather more crushed stone pretty easily. So I'm just going to finish up placing these blocks, and I'll get back with you guys. Okay, this is as far around as we could reach with the blocks. In case you didn't know, just as a side note, the door is going to go right here. We'll have a large constructor sitting right here. These boxes won't be accessible unless you look kind of through the crack of the large constructor, but it doesn't really matter because if you hit F4, we can access all the boxes here. You can see I'm just going to leave it on constructor in because that's the one I'll use most often when I need to dump resources and stuff, but all of them are accessible. But anyway, with the base almost finished, I'll just put a roof on it, and as I said, we'll get the large constructor up and running as well, and some other little things like that. But for the most part, the base is done. I was gonna see if we could bring in the bolt. It's made by Spange. It's unlock level 7, but it's a small vessel, really cheap. Like, I think we have the resources for it right now, minus the carbon substrate, which we can easily get. And if need be, the copper mine is just behind us here, and the iron is over there, so it's not a far drive at all. So I'm going to see if we can get this in real quick, because this would help our exploration and just travel overall a lot. It's a lot quicker than the hover bike here, and besides, the hover bike's kind of not the best. It's damaged, it's slow, it doesn't hover that high off the ground and catches on a lot of things like big rocks, so I just have to be careful when I drive it. But with the bolt, it's a small vessel, meaning that it flies up, and so I wouldn't have to worry at all about hitting rocks or anything, and it would make exploration a lot quicker and a lot easier, especially because we have this huge portion of the map left. That being said, there is the damaged UCH dart here as well, which we could go take apart or at least salvage for some extra resources and stuff. But we also, once we finish the tutorial, we have these solo missions here, which I can start as well, which I think we're almost ready for. I also just installed an ammo box, you can see right back there. That way we can, if we want to, put some guns on this base and have a box to store the ammo in. So basically, really quickly, I'm going to try and get the bolt in. If I need to gather more resources, I will. In fact, I think I'll just go and get some copper anyway. I'm also going to head by, instead actually, I think I'll head by this UCH dart and just see what I can salvage from it. Also, as I finish up salvaging this thing, some of you guys might be wondering why I don't just get this ship instead. Just fix the ship up instead. Well, the answer is, on one side, first of all, I've tried before, on one side, there's no thruster, so it tends to drift the other way. And then, basically, it's just a heap of junk. Has a couple thrusters on it, probably about it. I've just scrapped everything. There was only a couple thrusters, a cockpit, and a couple cargo boxes, and even from the loot from it, this is all I got. It's really, there's not a lot at all. So, but since I put this thing in my library, I can just shift click all of these components in. Just like that. You can see it really didn't do a whole lot of anything. As I said, there's really not that many components in this thing. But I'm going to head back now towards the copper deposit and start mining. Also, just as I arrive at this deposit, it seems that some radiated fog is starting to roll in. Or it has been rolling in, just the sky is not very green yet. But my suit should be able to take up to 4 rads, so I should be fine. Another reason to have a sealed base, because the radiated fog actually won't, it won't bother you basically. Since you have an airtight base, you won't be breathing in the radiated fog, so you won't have to worry about it basically. But since we don't quite have an airtight base yet, since we're not quite there, I'll just have to deal with it basically. It shouldn't be a problem, and if it is, I have anti-radiation ointment back at base that I can use. Ooh, I just popped up to the surface, and you can see it's all green now, and radioactive, and it's up to 6 rads. The biggest number tells how many rads the player is currently experiencing. The smaller numbers tell, the top one tells your body radiation level, so how much radiation your body is experiencing, and then the bottom one is amount of radiation outside. You can see I'm all the way up to 6.3 rads now, but that's okay. I'm not worried. I have, right here, I have the concrete cooking up, and I'm going to put some more on. Just make as much as you can, please. And then over here, I'm going to put some copper ore on, so that that'll convert also, and I won't have to use power from the base. But now if I just sleep, because it was technically night, funny enough, it doesn't actually advance my radiation levels, but it still speeds up time. But I can go ahead and throw the 170 in. Carbon substrate can also be made quite easily. If I just grab some wood, then I can throw it in the same constructor I had the stone in. I'm just going to tell this one to make as much carbon substrate as it can, because we will actually end up needing this in the future. If I hit F4, I can put player here, outpost alpha here, and then I can connect to outpost alpha, and then it brings up this orange toolbar right here, and then I can bring these concrete blocks and stairs to that toolbar. And so now I can run around, and you notice I'm holding all 69 of those blocks. I am able to, because I'm not actually holding them. The cargo box here is this cargo box is holding them. You can see the It's up to 6,000 of 16,000, so it's taken a toll on them on there. Also, the radiated fog is dying down, which is always good, and so far I haven't taken even point 0.1 rads worth of radiation, so that's awesome. And I don't think I will either, because it's dying down and is within my suit's capacity, unless I stand near the generators, in which case of course I do receive a little bit more radiation. If I just hop down here, I can actually use my drone. If I just like jump or something, if I get away from the wall, I can actually use my drone and fill in the roof. I can hit T to change toolbars, and then I just click and hit control, and then I can fill in that whole area. And turns out I still don't quite have enough concrete, but that's okay. Then when I'm done, I just hit F5 again, brings the drone back. Also, with the drone over there, there is a desert golem, or a golem of sorts. I saw him with the drone. What I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to knock out these stairs here. It's going to take a while, but that's okay. And I'm going to replace it with these stairs here. So now I can just walk straight up into it and I don't need to do anything funky. Okay, next I'm going to put a door on the base, except make sure it's a base door. And I'm also going to make a ventilator. Now I'm going to flip the door around, double check that this is airtight, and then place it. So now we are in an airtight room, and I can add a ventilator in multiple different shapes. I'll just do that shape right there, and with the addition of some O2 tanks in the back over there, we should be good to go. I'm also going to grab another fuel tank, and the reason for this is because I'm going to actually have to take out part of the roof to install this. So I'm going to queue up 8 more concrete blocks just right here, and I'm going to have to use my drone on this. And you can see there's this nice little gap right here that is exactly enough room for a fuel tank and 2 oxygen tanks, which is exactly what I planned. So now I can fill this block in here, and then I can make it look nice and neat around the corners as well. Okay guys, and this is Outpost Alpha. It appears there's actually 2 waypoints maybe on the screen for Outpost Alpha, but if we throw some oxygen in here, I have 15 on me, but I don't think it'll be enough to fill the room, so I'm just gonna throw 5 in this tank, and I'm also gonna disconnect from this box. And if I now turn on the oxygen, it actually appears that there is enough oxygen in the tanks that we can take off our helmet and breathe. Nice. And this won't use up our suit oxygen, obviously. Every time we breathe, though, it does deplete this oxygen a little bit. So we need to keep that in mind. But seeing as it took just 5 tanks to fill this whole room with oxygen, I would say that we're doing alright. I had this guy make as much carbon substrate as he could. He made 300. That is more than enough for the small vessel, even with just 5 pieces of crushed stone and 2 wood logs. It made more than enough for this vessel. You can see it takes only 240, so there's 240 in there, and we still have 60 left over, which I'm going to throw in the box so that we can use it to make things later. Now it's just a case of getting 130 silicon and 90 iron, but we have both of those, like 130 silicon, just 127, there's 130 silicon, and there's 90 iron, there is 90 iron just right there. Now, the only issue is I am not at level 7 yet, but If I open my inventory, I'm at level 5, almost, or getting to level 6. And the way I can improve my levels is, well, simply by attacking bad guys. And to start, there's a golem over there. Usually they have pretty good loot. So I'm going to head his way. He'll probably start heading my way. I'll just peg him a couple times. He's going to start to run at me. I can run backwards. Shotgun out. And just shotgun him the rest of the way. And as I say, he has pretty good loot, like 5 rustrium ore, 8 silicon, 18 copper, 8 titanium, and 9 cobalt. So that is pretty good. Pretty good loot. Those guys do hit hard though, so if you do get hit by them, then you're probably in trouble. And you can see that guy alone brought me a huge chunk of the way, even to level 6. Another way you can just get experience is by exploring. So now I'm going to head off in, well, how about this direction? I'll go over the mountain. And it is morning, and the bolt has successfully finished. So, I'm going to go into F5, into my drone, and I'm going to spawn her on top of the base. So now I can go to my completed blueprints, go to the bolt, and just spawn her on top here. So there she is, the bolt. I'm going to go ahead and hit P, make her public instead of private because the E's cut off. Really quickly, I'm going to save a template, and then we can get her some fuel, and I have some ammo. And I looted 8 Promethean packs, so I will just put those in the bolt. I can actually shove my character with my drone, funny enough, as well. But I'm just going to put 4 in for now, see how far that gets. Okay. 10%. Turn the power off. But yeah, this is the bolt. Has if I hit P, I can show you, has 4 cargo boxes, an ammo box, has a fridge, an armor locker, and Wi-Fi, and an O2 station as well. So that's cool. And of course, 2 miniguns underneath on each side. So that will make fighting drones and stuff a lot easier, and will be a lot nicer on me. But on that note, guys, I think I'm going to end today's episode with crafting some ammo for the bolt, if I can unlock it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I sure had a lot of fun, got a lot done, got a new vessel, and finished the base. So that's awesome. Thank you for watching, and have a good day. Bye. And I had to hop up on the base for this one. Today's nature scene is the beautiful mountains in the distant background of the scorching hot desert.